TSM, and they were able to snowball it through down to that 2v2.
Well, Kitchen's next up on the plate here for DarkZero. They'll still have that extended play going on in the early round. A bit of a different direction, though. It's obviously the site's on the first floor, so the roam game is going to be up on the second, and to some degree the first as well. Hotton will hold that extended play on the inside of the living room, fending off any of the aggressive takes towards Astro and potentially the back front door into the library, or even, of course, the mudroom push as well. He's responsible for a lot, but as are the upstairs players. They're going to have to fend off what is currently a 3 or 4 man push, or a 3 or 4 man intel grab towards the inside of the second floor, just above the site. Will it be successful or not? Well, we're going to find out very, very soon, as Merc is starting to move his way in. And we've been talking about, there was initially a roam game here from DarkZero, but it seems to have all but pulled back. You've got Mint on red. I believe Hyper is over there on Astro's stairs, but he's about to be droned out. So the overall capability for DarkZero to try and throw aggression at TSM right now is looking relatively minimum. A good start, though, will be found from them regardless. The Eclipse gets great Nitro cell up above onto Merc to take him out.
Nice pre-place there by Eclipse. They still have one as well, hot and cold, and quite the setup downstairs for this horizontal setup. So have a rotation through Bicycle, as well as a lot of long distance gunfights available to them for these crossfires from living room. So DarkZero, beautiful stuff so far. TSM down Merc, but have a lot of verticality done, but now the verticality is actually falling into the hands of DarkZero and working quite well. Eclipse takes down Bolo from below. TSM down to the 3 versus 5. Still plenty of time for them to do things, though, as well as they have a lot of soft destruction to get through most of this. It's going to be down to Achieve to handle most of that, but they're still patiently waiting. Right now, though, Chala inside of Laundry looking for a kill, but he's being contested by Skies inside of Kitchen. He's got a shield to assist him as well, and that could be some major problems for TSM. A lot of very hard to contest gunfights, but it's going to be Eclipse who gets aggressive with the M590. TSM can't hold the crosses, but Geo finally fires back, takes down Eclipse. DarkZero still in the lead 4-2.
40 seconds remain here now. TSM once again is going to be working both against the clock and the man count. It's going to appear here now in order to try to get into the site. This one looking a lot less appealing than the previous round here, but still needing to try and find some way to work it. Achieve still trying to play with top-down angles, and there's reason to believe he might just stay here too if Geo is going to be able to find a route into the site on his own. That's not really happening though. Geo knows he's got a player to his left. He's looking for a counter reaction from his opponent to see if he'll also take up an angle on the right, but it's just not happening. Smokes out the primary site, but is not going to use it. He's going to try to hop in instead over here. Separate window, but it will not pay out at all. They in fact expected that to happen. And we'll get into the appropriate position to shut down not just that aggression approaching that 20-second margin. Yes, it's still very chaotic, and the initial frags are very, very one-sided towards TSM, but if just one player remains elusive enough and can find an impactful enough kill, as we saw in that situation, they can still win out the round in low time, especially because those situations are so chaotic in the comms. I don't even want to have to guess what those look like in those types of fights. So DarkZero able to control the madness, control the chaos. And take a 4th round here. They've only got 1 left in this half, but already they're in very, very good control of it, regardless of the outcome.
In case you're wondering, it's usually just a lot of screaming. That's usually what it is, and a lot of people saying dead. It's like, gun vault dead, bar dead, like, plant the dang diffuser. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's everyone's just yelling at each other to do stuff. And then there's one guy that just yells more than everybody else, and that's usually the guy that they call your IGL. No, good stuff from both of these teams. But no, as you said, that is a main thing to be concerned about inside of those moments is, you know, comms getting cluttered, especially when you have multiple gunfights all going on at the same time and someone's calling, you know, multiple positions and everything else. It's very difficult to get the, you know, the full grasp of what's going on inside of those situations, and that's more than likely where the problem ran into for TSM. When they finally got the intel on what was going on with Mint, it was already too late. He'd already knifed someone, and when the knife went through, he's like, he's on bar, dead, and he kills the guy with the case and he sprints out the door. You don't have time, and that's the main problem there for them once again. So it really is just the comm clutter overall.
Already well into this next round. Here. Got Chala on the road, clear a nice spot onto that Valkyrie camera, and he seems to have good intel from that other drone you can just see at the edge of the screen. But Hyper's also holding the Astro stairs, and he's holding it in quite the aggressive fashion here. Hot and Cold shows up with some assistance from below. He is able to Nitro Cell out Bola, eliminating him from this round. And also giving DarkZero the initial advantage to play off of here. Skies trying to play. That fight's going to be a bit too long range to find success in the shotgun, however. So he'll get taken out by Chala as the exchange is met, although he definitely did some damage, not just to Chala, but to Mert as well there.
Very unfortunate there for Skies, assuming that he was predicting someone would throw some utility at him after they used that EMP so he could just catch him off guard. But that was definitely not the case, as he swings right into a firing squad. Rest of TSM now, though, with the verticality, getting rid of these mute jammers, and Achieve doing some good work with the IQ. This is something that we haven't seen them bring into the lineup just yet, but this is going to be the first time for TSM overall inside of this series. We've seen IQ pop up here and there throughout this entire tournament for multiple teams, but she's not nearly as good as she once was, mainly because of that utility meta that we're in. So IQ being brought out now, strong with those breaching charges, and can get rid of a lot of this utility through the floorboards, and that's what they're going to be utilizing. Great pressure here from Chala as he picks up Houghton inside of Pantry. Now TSM have a foothold, but we're back down to the timer. 20 seconds remain here for TSM.
Low time again, going to force the aggression out from TSM to try and get their way in. They've got a man advantage built up this time in order to play that, and also important here, Eclipse is nearly out of shotgun ammo, limiting him to the SMG-11. There we go. Final shot's been made as he does catch the player trying to move in from Laundra. I think that's Chala. That'll bring him down very, very low. No, he's fighting a different spot. It's Merc, in fact. Do we see the plant go down? No, we do not, as Hyper gets the snipe off onto the
difficult situation for them to win, and they still got it down, you know, on timer at least, but ended up getting cleaned up in that 1 versus 3. Just struggling right now on this offense for DZ.
Well, for DZ, they at least will get this 1 round to breathe potentially here. TSM suffers from the same attacking problems that DarkZero had. Only 1 round was claimed in regulation on the attacking side for each team. Either one would need to double their overall attacker round 1 in order to take this in OT. TSM, though, does have the advantage of the 2 defensive rounds. They don't have to win this one if they don't really want to. Now, that would be great, of course, if they can close it down here. The record doesn't look that great. So DarkZero is absolutely assuming that they can claim this one and try to win it out on the final round. That's very well, maybe what it comes down to, but TSM as well, already moving in, quickly clearing out the 2nd floor and lining up their attack onto the kitchen.
DarkZero back on that horizontal hole, that's what we're talking about. Very difficult for TSM to attack into, as DarkZero could contest every single angle thrown at them the last time, and did a very bang-up job of doing so. So down to TSM trying to chop this site up correctly, and that's the big thing. This thing's practically a big pie at the moment. They just have to handle the proper slice at the proper time. Right now, they're working it more like a can opener. Let's pop up in this top floor, see if we can get some pressure on these DarkZero anchors, and if they're able to get an initial pick, that can really highlight what they're going to do throughout this round. Those early picks, especially on a site setup like this, is going to change up a lot of things for DZ. It's going to make it so much more difficult to hold down these sight lines. This is all based off of crossfires.
Hyper just inching his way back up there, waiting for the eventual action to move in there. Merc's going to take a lot of damage, I assume, from a Nitro. He's brought down to a little over 25 here. About half the round is remaining for TSM to make their attack work and at least start to put the case onto the ground. For DarkZero, though, they've got a lot of off-site presence, which probably isn't going to become immediately apparent to TSM until later on here. Some of that's starting to shift back towards the site, though. Mid down to the bottom of Pantry Stairs is probably...
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And
one of the more notable additions to the defense here right now. But at the same time, TSM struggling very much in the same way that DarkZero was just in the previous round here. A lot of chip damage going on to the attackers, removing a lot of their capability to swing aggressively, and just no real responses coming out from TSM themselves. Eclipse is going to be able to get the first kill of the round as he finally finishes off Merc and brings it down to a total of 4 for the attackers here. They still control pretty much everything on the first floor too. Not a lot going well at the moment here for TSM.
Well, finally something to actually show some form of success here inside of this OT round. Bolo stepping up to the plate once again. 13-4-7 right now. Second highest frags inside of the entire game. Only trailing Skies, who is still alive as well on that signature smoke. 17-3-9 for him, standing outside of China Door, but still has to worry about quite a lot of things, as well as the vertical play here that Chiefs opened up. He takes down Skies, but it's an immediate fire back from Hyper as he works his way into Dining. Wrapping around here now, though, case starts for Geo inside of Kitchen. Does Geo know where this, or excuse me, Hyper know where this is, as he begins to contest inside of Pantry? It's a swing, they're trying to contest multiple angles, but TSM shut them down.